Freudian slip. I slipped into your mother's vagina. I had a Freudian slip. I said something wrong, but maybe it was something I actually wanted. Sigmund Freud, the psychologist who coined this brain glitch, thought these kinds of mistakes weren't random at all. He believed they revealed repressed desires or unresolved thoughts bubbling up from your unconscious. So when Ross stood at the altar and said, "Take thee, Rachel," it wasn't just awkward, it was the truth slipping out. Now, modern science is a little more nuanced than Freud's perverted mind. Turns out your brain is doing a ton of stuff while you're talking. Planning grammar, pulling vocab, lining up sounds. Sometimes similar words compete in your mental buffer, and the wrong one pops out. It's often just a glitch. Mechanical, not emotional. Could it still mean something? Sure. But most of the time, it's not a deep secret. It's just you pressing the wrong dialogue option. Intrusive thoughts. Dip your cock in liquid nitrogen and smash it with a hammer. Stick a fork in your arm and twirl your veins like spaghetti. Say, "Don't be a hero," to the TSA agent while walking through security. These are not jokes. These are intrusive thoughts that people have posted online. An intrusive thought is a brain glitch where something deeply unwanted barges into your head without permission. "Here's Johnny." It's usually something cruel, graphic, and absurd. Fast and unfiltered, it enters your mind, but it's so far from your actual intent, it doesn't feel like it comes from you at all, because you wouldn't really swerve, right? For most people, the thought comes and goes. It's weird, then it's gone. But for some people with OCD, for example, it doesn't feel like a glitch, it feels like a command. They don't want to act on the thought, but their brain won't let it go. They try to resist and suppress the thoughts, and that makes it worse. Carrying out the compulsion reduces the anxiety, but each recurrence strengthens the urge to perform the compulsion, reinforcing the intrusive thoughts. There's a way out, but it's counterintuitive. Don't fight the thought. Let it exist. Studies show it can reduce the fear, reduce the power, and break the cycle. It's easy to put a light bulb into your mouth, but impossible to remove it without shattering the glass. Now breathe. The thought has passed and it meant nothing. Color constancy failure. What color is this dress? Black and blue or white and gold? This viral dress divided the internet in 2015, when both Team Blue and Team Gold were absolutely sure they were right. But how we see the dress depends on what kind of light your brain thinks it's in. If your brain thinks the dress is in the shade, you'll see black and blue. But if it thinks it's in sunlight, you'll see white and gold. This is called color constancy failure, a brain glitch that is behind a lot of optical illusions, including this one. Your brain doesn't just see color, it guesses it. Based on context, shadows, memories, it assumes more than you realize. Another example of this brain glitch is this classic checkerboard illusion. And this time, I can actually prove you wrong. Are square A and square B the same shade of gray? No. Obviously B is lighter, right? Or is it? Look what happens when I draw with the A shade into the B shade. This is your brain glitching out, adjusting the brightness of square B to compensate for the fake shadow. Even though this illusion isn't about color, it's still color constancy failure, just with lightness instead of hue. Both illusions show how your brain overrides raw visual input using context, expectations, and built-in assumptions. The world is fake, and our simulation runs on a busted rendering engine with terrible lighting presets. Patch it now, please. Sleepwalking. You are sleeping. You're also climbing a huge-ass crane. And no, it's not a dream, at least not for a 15-year-old girl in London. She was found asleep on the arm of a crane 130 feet above the ground. She had climbed out of her window, walked to a construction site, and scaled the crane, all while sleepwalking. When firefighters came to rescue her, she was still sleeping. They called her parents, who gently awaked her so that she would not panic and fall. Sleepwalking is a brain glitch where your body wakes up, but your mind stays in dream mode. It's like that one episode of The Walking Dead, where only the motor function part of the brain gets activated, so you can move, but you don't have your consciousness there. And just like sleeping, you don't remember anything you've done, which can actually be used as a legal defense. On June 2nd, 1988, a man named Burgess attacked his friend Katrina Curtis. She had fallen asleep on a sofa and woke up when Burgess, while allegedly sleepwalking, hit her over the head with a bottle. When he put his hands around her throat, she managed to say, "I love you, Bar," which made Burgess come to his senses and stop and call an ambulance. Burgess was found not guilty by the Bristol Crown Court by reason of insane automatism. So if you ever find yourself doing something illegal, put on a pajamas and call the cops. Exploding head syndrome. Don't worry, your head's not actually exploding. It's all in your head. No, seriously, that's the whole problem. Right as you're falling asleep, Your brain hits you with an imaginary noise so loud it feels like you just got sniped. It can be an explosion, a gunshot, or crashing cymbals. The sound isn't real and nobody else can hear it. But it can still be a scary, frustrating interruption. Some researchers think it's a mini electrical misfire in your sensory system. Others blame the reticular formation, the part of your brainstem that controls the switch between wake and sleep. Nobody knows the exact cause, but the good news is that it's harmless. Scary, but harmless. Just your brain trying out its own jump scare before bedtime. Phantom vibration syndrome. You feel your phone buzz in your pocket, except it didn't. Even your phone knows you're single, but you could have sworn you felt a vibration. Welcome to phantom vibration syndrome, a hallucination your nervous system throws at you for no good reason. And yes, it's real. A 2015 study from Kurukshetra University surveyed 300 postgraduate students and found that 74% of them experienced both phantom vibrations and phantom ringing. I ran a poll myself, and out of 500 of you, 44% said you experience phantom vibrations frequently or occasionally. Our phones have become so integrated into our everyday life that they are an extension of your body. Just like a phantom limb can itch, your phantom phone can buzz. Scientists think it's a mix of psychological conditioning and sensory confusion. Your brain interprets random muscle twitches, clothing shifts, or even pressure changes as phone stuff. And because we check our phones a billion times a day, your brain says, yeah, that's probably a text from our lover, let's panic. Wait, you don't have a lover, obviously. You're haunted by a ghost you trained yourself to believe in. Semantic satiation. Well, anything sounds weird if you say it 100 times. Bull. And kids. That's how I learned about semantic satiation, a psychological phenomenon where repetition causes a word or phrase to temporarily lose all meaning. It's a pretty self-explanatory brain glitch. Semantic means meaning, and satiation means full. Leon Jakobovits coined this term in 1962 in his doctoral dissertation. He ran a bunch of experiments where people repeated a word out loud for several seconds, then did a simple task using that word, like translating it, grouping it into a concept, or adding numbers related to it. And across the board, repetition made them worse. Not dramatically, but just enough to show that the brain starts to tune the word out, like it's background noise. It stops feeling like a word at all. Leon had a theory that when you say a word over and over, the neurons responsible for processing it start to burn out, like a button getting stuck. Some scientists think the weirdness happens before your brain even gets to the meaning, like the signal gets jammed on the way in. Others say it's not about repetition at all. It's just your attention getting tired, or your brain trying to predict what's coming next and getting lazy. Either way, the result's the same. You repeat a word too much and suddenly it feels like it came from another planet. You can try it yourself with any real word. Try saying plan repeatedly over and over. Plan. So yeah, words and meaning are fragile, and that's not philosophy. That's your brain. What even is a bowl, anyway? Doorway effect. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. And just standing in the doorway like a bugged-out NPC with the quest line deleted, this is the doorway effect. A brain glitch where walking through a door makes your memory go poof. It's well documented, and 100% real. It's been studied in virtual reality, labs, even real-life hallways. Crossing a boundary, physical or mental, triggers your brain to update the event file. In other words, new room, new objective. Science still doesn't fully know why the brain does this. Some think it's a leftover survival mechanism. A quick memory wipe to help you stay alert to predators when entering a new space. So yeah, next time you forget what you're doing, don't panic. You didn't lose the memory. You're just loading a new area. Your brain isn't broken. It's just weird. And honestly, that's what makes it fun. Thanks for watching. Now go walk through a doorway and forget everything I just said. Bye.